life will sometimes knock you down. Hey everybody, it's Ramona J. Smith. I am the 2018 World Champion of Public Speaking. For those of you who do not know me, most of you have seen me in my Still Standing video. Yeah. And in 2018, with an organization called Toastmasters International, I was able to outlast 30,000 other speakers to become one of the best speakers, if not the best speaker in the world. Fast forward to 2022, and I am still speaking, teaching, inspiring, informing, coaching, training people to enhance and improve their confidence, their delivery, their presentation, and their content when it comes to the art and mastering the art of public speaking, because yes, it is indeed an art form. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 public speaking tips. But before I do that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Go ahead and hit that like button and drop a comment. You can leave some tips about what you feel about public speaking, or if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Also, visit my website, ramonajsmith.com. And if you have not gotten my ebook, A World Champion's Guide to Public Speaking, 10 Optimal Tips to Master the Art of Public Speaking, it is available on Amazon. So go ahead and pick up a copy of that for your reading pleasure. Let's hop right into these 3 tips for improving your public speaking. The first tip is obvious. You probably heard it many times before, but most of us still don't do it for some reason. You have to rehearse. You have to practice. You have to prepare. I don't care how many speeches you've given. I don't care if you feel like you're an amazing speaker. I don't care if you have amazing impromptu skills. If someone is asking you to speak, or if you have a presentation, you need to prepare. You need to practice. You need to know what you are going to say. That does not mean you have to remember everything word for word. It just means you have to know what you're talking about, when you're going to talk about it, and how long you're going to talk about it for. Also, who are you talking to? Those are all things that are a part of the preparation process. You never want to get on a stage and not know what you're talking about. You never want to get on a stage and not know how long you're going to be up there. And you never want to get on a stage and you kind of have no idea about who the audience is. You have no idea about anything about these people, the demographics, the interests, at least something to be able to create that content. Not saying you have to know their whole life story or their entire bio, but have some type of idea of what the overall theme of the meeting is, or the theme of the conference, and how you can add value to the audience. So it's very important that you prepare. That means you can write an outline. That means you can create a PowerPoint and practice from there. That means that you need to be timing your speech to see if you need to add more content or take more content away. That means you may want to deliver the speech or presentation in front of your family or friends, or if you are a part of Toastmasters, the organization, give your speech in front of a small audience and get their evaluation and get their feedback, so that you can make sure if you try to do a joke that it lands, or you're not saying anything offensive or inappropriate, or that it's just content that is engaging and informative and exciting. You must prepare. Practice your speech. I cannot drill that into speakers enough. You have to practice. I still practice my presentations. Unless it is a poem or it is a keynote that you've given multiple times. You have to rehearse. You have to practice. You have to prepare. Okay? Do it. Do it for me. Thanks. Love you. Okay. Number 2. Consider working with a public speaking coach. Now, do your research, because we all know that these days anybody can slap coach on their resume and not really know how to coach, especially when it comes to public speaking. So see if they have maybe a free consultation, or if you can get like a demo session or something like that to see if it's a great fit. Because just because someone has spoken a lot, or just because someone has a fancy title, it does not mean they're going to give you what you need in regards to becoming a better public speaker. But for the great coaches out there like myself, Consider working with a public speaking coach one-on-one or group coaching. If that's your thing, do group coaching as well. But get you someone who knows what they're looking at, who knows what your speaking style is, who can give you some powerful feedback that's going to help you sharpen both your content and your presentation. Someone who's going to be able to listen to you with a seasoned ear and say, you might want to say it like this, or think about saying it like that. Somebody who's really going to challenge you, and someone who is going to make you feel confident in this content or this presentation that you're going to be delivering. So work with a coach that knows public speaking, that does public speaking, that is a public speaker, and someone who has those great coaching techniques and strategies that you're comfortable with, that make you feel empowered and that make you want to continue speaking. Do not get with a public speaking coach that has no speeches that you can watch. Do not get with a public speaking coach that just has no experience with speaking. And I'm not saying that they have to be a world champion. You can have some great public speaking coaches in Toastmasters, or even on your college campus if they teach speech, or someone who has just a lot of experience with looking at speeches, evaluating speeches, and understanding the relationship between the speaker and the audience, right? The speaker and the message and the receivers, the sender, message, receiver, somebody who understands the communication model. And that way they can help you to be able to express yourself, to be able to get that message across that you want to get across, and maybe even make it more fun and entertaining. So number one, practice, prepare, rehearse. Number two, work with a trusted public speaking coach that is a good match for you. And number three, I've noticed this a lot lately. Number three, stop worrying about what other people think so much. And that might sound weird. That might sound very weird, but I feel like a lot of the fear of public speaking is the fear of what everybody else thinks about what you're doing. What everybody else thinks about what you're doing. That's what makes us lack confidence most of the time. And that's what makes us so nervous. You have all these eyes on you. Everybody's quiet. They're waiting on you to make a move. They're waiting on you to make a sound. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. My challenge to you is to be so confident in your content and in your preparation and in your knowledge that even if somebody comes up to you afterwards and say, that was a horrible presentation, or someone comes up to you afterwards and say, that presentation changed my life, it won't make your confidence fluctuate, because you're already solidified within yourself that, well, thank you. Either way it goes, whether you feel like it was great or you feel like it was bad, deep in my heart, if I know I did my best, that is all that matters. So many speakers just want to go up there and be Tony Robbins, or so many speakers just want to go up there and knock them out the box like Lisa Nichols, or we just have this image in our mind of these dynamic speakers and we just want to wow the crowd and wow the audience. That's not your job every time. That may not be your assignment every time. Usually when we hear speeches and when we hear presentations, they are to inform, to persuade, to inspire. To inform, to persuade, to inspire, or to entertain. And 9 times out of 10, you're not doing an entertaining speech. You're not going up there doing a comedy show at amateur night. You're here to inspire, inform, entertain, or persuade. And most of the time it's just inspire, inform, or persuade. So get the idea out of your mind that you have to have some type of knock 'em out the box Rick speech every single time. Unless your job is to motivate and you're a motivational speaker, that is not your job every single time. I'm not saying it shouldn't be a goal, or if that's on your goal list to knock it off or to take it off your goal list. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you have a speech at school and your speech is about how to dissect a frog or something like that, you don't have to go up there and give an Oscar award winning message. Just tell us how to dissect a frog. Give us some good tips, have some good statistics, give us some good quotes, maybe a funny story, good introduction, conclusion, and get out of there. They are not expecting you to be the Messiah and the Savior every time you get on this stage. Stop trying to overdo it and overthink it. Prepare your speech. Give your speech. Give a little eye contact, some body language, a little bit of hand gestures. And all that comes through practice. So it really all ties into practice. But another thing I want you, and this is a bonus tip, another thing I want you to really understand is that sometimes we lack confidence because every time we get on stage, it's our domain, right? You're in control. You have the power. And we either forget that we have that power, or that power becomes overwhelming because we don't know what to do with it. So I want you to remember that once you get behind that podium, or once you get on that stage, or once the spotlight is on you during Zoom, you have the power. Because for one, nobody knows what your presentation is supposed to look like. They don't know if you skipped point A and went to point C. They don't know when this joke is coming or when this story is coming. So even if you may stumble a little bit in your mind, just keep going because they don't know. And I know you've heard this a lot. And if you haven't, you're hearing it today. Unless you've practiced this speech before in front of someone and they know it front to back, 9 times out of 10, the audience doesn't know what you're going to be talking about. You have the power. And someone asked me recently, well, what if I'm giving a speech and my content is just not appreciated and the people are kind of like on their phones or they're not paying attention? When that happens, you have the power to stop your speech and ask a question. Hi, is everybody following me? I see that maybe some of us are not focused. Should we break for a few questions for Q&A? You have the power. You have the power to, even if you want to, if you feel like the audience is not vibing with your speech and the audience is not understanding, they're not rocking with you, they're just kind of in their own world and zoning out, you have the power to talk about other things that you know that may not even be in your speech. Now, that's a veteran move. That's not really a novice move, but some of us are quick up here. So say, for instance, you're talking about empathy and you're talking about all these great things about empathy, but it's getting kind of boring. Maybe you can throw in something about sympathy, or maybe you can throw in something about how great leaders are empathetic, or maybe you can share the video really quick about the nail in the head video with empathy. Maybe you can kind of break it up there, or you can, I'm not going to say impose, you can tell the audience to get up and do something. Hey guys, I know I've been talking for about 15 minutes. Let's just take a 30-second break to just stretch or jump, or take a 30-second break to check your text messages, and then I'll continue speaking. You have the power. This is so Obama. This is so President Obama. You have the power. But you do. When this is your space and this is your time and nobody else is speaking and all eyes are on you, this is your time. This is a time for you to take over, for you to take control, and for you to be empowered. So stop worrying so much. Am I Italian? I could be. I could be Italian. But stop worrying so much about whether people are going to think that it was the best presentation ever or the worst presentation ever. And you just do your best. And that confidence is going to come from preparation and from the knowledge that you have of the subject matter that you're speaking about. Preparation plus knowledge equals confidence. When you are prepared and when you are knowledgeable about what you're talking about, you're going to feel more confident when you get on that stage or in front of that camera when you are giving your next presentation. So my friends, please continue to prepare and practice. If you would like to coach one-on-one with me, go ahead and sign up at ramonajsmith.com or send me an email. Contact ramonajsmith@gmail.com and we can schedule a one-on-one session for us to work together. And stop worrying so much about what other people think about you. You have to be confident within yourself. And that confidence is gained from preparation and knowledge. And looking good too. We can throw that in there too. Make sure you look good when you go on stage, but that's a whole nother video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video if you thought it was valuable and you thought it is and you think it's share worthy. That is fine. I will see you next time. Until then, you stay still standing.